Hi, I'm a Blisy. Hey everyone, today I got an OU ladder match from Pokemon Showdown. I've been trying to get into Smogon's OU meta again, and I want to do some Wi-Fi battles for it, but I don't want to play without, like, breed a whole team without having tested it a bit to see how well it does. So this is pretty much just the first version of my team. I'd appreciate any critique. With that said, let's get the match underway. So I'm going to lead off with Tyranitar. He's Scarfed, and so I see this Rotom, and I'm like, okay, well, Rotom could be, I kind of expected it to be Scarfed and Volt Switch out, but it turns out to be bulky and he goes for the Will-O-Wisp. I get really lucky with it. That is so lucky he missed. So I go into Clefable expecting either Volt Switch or Will-O-Wisp, either one doesn't matter. So now I'm here, okay, I know I can beat the Rotom in a one-on-one, so I'm just going to Calm Mind because it's pretty much the safest thing to do here, whatever he does. So he stays in, and I Calm Mind, and I'm like, okay, maybe he'll just Volt Switch again, and I can Calm Mind again. I get another Calm Mind, and he rests, and then he heals himself with whatever berry he had. So here's where I get greedy. I should have absolutely soft-boiled or didn't attack. Either one would have been, it was super obvious he was going to go into one of his steel types. I should have just flamethrowered, but I Calm Mind again, and I'm like, okay, well, what kind of Excadrill is this going to be? And he goes for an Iron Head and he kills me, so I'm thinking, okay, well, it's clearly some kind of offensive Excadrill. So I go into Garchomp. He switches out fearing the Earthquake, but I reveal myself. I go for Fire Blast. It does a decent chunk. I'm a mixed Garchomp. So that was a little dumb of me. I forgot Rotom had Levitate, I guess. So I switch into Ferrothorn, who deals with Rotom very well. Even if I'm burned, it doesn't matter that much. Now I'm thinking, okay, do I want to go for the Spikes or the Leech Seed? And I decide, well, he's probably just going to switch in a counter to my Ferrothorn, and I don't really mind like just taking some burn damage and switching out since I'm not going to stick around. So I go into T-Tar on the Charizard because I'm not sure what kind of Charizard it is. And it turns out he is a Dragon Dancing Charizard, probably Dragon Dancing. I would presume they're all Mega Charizard extra Dragon Dance. So here I decide I'm just going to go for the Stone Edge. Nothing on his team besides Ferrothorn or Excadrill want to take it, and I don't want to overpredict right now after losing my Clefable so early. I just want to do safe plays. So he brings in Rotom and he just kind of lets it die, and then he brings in the Excadrill. So fearing the potential Sand Rush, I'm going to switch out into my Landorus, who does the best against this thing. So Landorus versus Ferrothorn, not the best. I don't have lefties. Oh no, I do have lefties actually. I think I do have lefties. I wasn't sure if I had lefties or Rocky Helmet. So I just decided to set up Stealth Rocks. And I'm probably going to get the hell out of here, go into something that could deal with this Ferrothorn more easily, like a Garchomp. So he makes a pretty good play, Leech Seeds twice, knowing I'm going to switch out. I go for the Fire Blast again, predicting. So now he knows Fire Blast is in, so I figure maybe, I don't know, I thought maybe he'd think I'd overpredict. Fire Blast was a safe bet in general, I think. So he goes into Azumarill, and I'm like, oh shit, I don't have much for this. I go into Mega Scizor, he gets a crit on the knockoff, which kind of sucks, but whatever, not a big deal. So then he goes back into Mega Charizard X, who takes a whole bunch from the hazards, and I just, I Mega Evolve and I go for the Roost, because it's absolutely the safest thing to do in this scenario. So then I get the hell out of here, because I'm not about that life. And now I know he's physical, so Landorus T does a very good job against it. So he goes for the Roost. I'm surprised he doesn't set up a Dragon Dance at least. But so he goes into the Gengar for some reason, and I go for Stone Edge. So the Gengar's like dead now, and I'm confused as to why he brought this in here. I know I could live a hit from it, but I decide to go into Scizor because I know I could take whatever this thing wants to throw at me, and then I could just hit whatever he, like, I was confused as to what he was threatening me with. So anyway, I just go for the Bullet Punch, figure he knew it would be dead from the hazards, but it's not dead from the hazards, or he switches out for some reason, and I go into Landorus T, which again will do a fine job of dealing with this Charizard. So here I'm going to go for the Earthquake because I'm predicting him to bring anything but the Gengar in, but then he decides to sack the Gengar to get a good matchup. I believe he brings in Azumarill here, although Ferrothorn would be just as good. The thing is, I know I could take an Aqua Jet if he goes for it, but he doesn't, and I go for a U-turn, and I go off first, and so I get the matchup onto Ferrothorn. Although Ferrothorn now is very low without his leftovers, and he's burned. So I decide I'm going to go for just another layer of Spike, set that up. And here is where he reveals to me that this is a Scarfed Excadrill with Rapid Spin, because he goes for Rapid Spin here, and I'm like, okay, whatever, it doesn't matter to me that much. He gets a crit on the Rapid Spin, but he's taking some damage from my Iron Barb's passive. I go for a Leech Seed just to get some health back, because I was like, whatever, this doesn't matter much. And then he goes for another Rapid Spin, and I'm like, oh, why is he Rapid Spinning again? And it occurs to me this thing is definitely scarfed. So I get a layer of spikes up before I die, and I'm like, alright, whatever, I'll go into Chomp. And so this is where I kind of realized it was scarfed 100%, because he outsped my Chomp, and I was like, that's not possible. There's no stand up. So I go for the Earthquake again, and knowing it'll hit everything on his team. And now he can get the matchup on me. He goes into Azumarill, however, I know Aqua Jet won't kill me, and luckily it doesn't even put me in range for Life Orb to kill me, so I get an Earthquake off, and he dies. So now I'm like, okay, well, he sends in the Ferrothorn, and I'm like, okay, Ferrothorn won't die to a Fire Blast, so I switch out, and this is a huge misplay on my part. He sets up the Stealth Rock. That was so dumb of me. I should have just Fire Blast. It wouldn't have mattered if he switched in Charizard X. It was absolutely the better play to do to potentially sack Garchomp. So now my Garchomp is dead, and I'm just going to U-turn out to get rid of the Leech Seed, so I can have a safe switch. And I'm like, okay, well, I didn't know what I want to do here, because I don't have anything to easily take this out. So I send in the Scizor, because I'm like, okay, well, I can Roost, and then if he stays in, I'll get some Swords Dances up, and if I get any Swords Dances up, like a few, I'd say 2 at least, I can threaten the switch in, but he just goes for a Leech Seed and switches out as ISD, I believe. So I cannot, he's not at low enough health for me to risk going, okay, well, I can hit this Charizard. So I go into Landers to intimidate it. And I'm actually surprised he goes for a Fire Punch straight up. He doesn't want to Dragon Dance or nothing like that. So, okay, what do I do here? And I think my best option is to go for the Earthquake. It hits both of them, and Ferrothorn does not resist Earthquake as opposed to the Stone Edge, which he does resist. So I go back in the Scizor because it's a huge mind game. And he's going to Leech Seed me again, and I'm like, alright, well, I didn't know how I was going to deal with this thing. So I go for a Roost again first. Priority 1 is getting all my health back. And then now I'm in a bad matchup again, and I'm like, alright, well, fuck, what do I want to do? So I go into T-Tar because this is my only option here, okay? So he Dragon Claws and I live, thank God. So now we're at a situation where it's like, alright, if he... So basically, I chose to pursue and he chose to switch out, and now he's going to die of Stealth Rocks next time he comes in no matter what. So thank God for that. So I go into my Mega Scizor knowing I have the matchup here. Absolutely do I have the matchup. So he Leech Seeds. His Charizard is effectively dead. If he didn't switch out, I would have lost the match probably. I could have maybe won with some ridiculous outplay, but it would have been... Dude, it would have been hard to... I mean, Pursue would have done an okay amount of damage, not a huge amount. So he switches in Charizard, and it dies. And at this point, I'm going to fast forward the match because it's just me Swords Dancing and him Leech Seeding and attacking me and Gyro Balling and such. So I'm just going to get to +6, then Roost all my health back, and then my Volt Punch doesn't do that much damage. I get to Swords Dance again. Resist, and I'm going to Roost here because I don't want to die next turn. Oop, all my health back. He power-ups me, 4 times resist, not much damage. Leech Seeds me again. Bullet Punch doesn't do that much damage at all. And he Iron Barbs me, and he Gyro Balls me, and I'm Leech Seeded, and I'm like, okay, this is going to take frickin' forever. My next plan here was to, after this Roost, I was going to U-turn him for a decent chunk of damage. And then send in the Landorus to intimidate him. However, he's going to forfeit real soon because there's no point in stalling this out. I will win unless he gets a super lucky crit. So he forfeits the match, and that was fun. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully I'll have some actual Wi-Fi battles as opposed to Showdown matches. I don't want to do too many Showdown matches, but I just wanted to show you guys kind of the process of me learning the OU meta again. I haven't really played OU since like early Gen 5, like right after Genesect was released was the last time I played OU. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. The plan is basically to whittle it down with Aegislash, like use King's Shield, lower his attack, and then